when NPP was in power, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo edi enim as the president. COVID-19 era no na omokeka enyoma bi say COVID-19 no has affected the economy of the country, even all across the world. And so NDC for in opposition eka say in some way enye no kre. Now President John Dramani Mahama wejai no. President John Dramani Mahama say data from the economic wine of Africa about bontin abeka say yanko tie audio no. I'm not going to say anything. Yanko tie from the horse's own mouth.
Data from the Economic Commission of Africa, ECA, shows that COVID-19 created the continent's worst recession in 50 years, with real GDP shrinking by 3% averagely by 3% in 2020. Before the pandemic, poverty reduction was already a major challenge. The pandemic is estimated to have dragged about 55 million more people into poverty in Africa and exposed another 46 million more to the risk of hunger and malnourishment.
Wow.
Indeed, 70% of hunger in Africa, which had already been on the rise since 2014, is directly attributable to this pandemic.
But when NPP was in power, this was not the case. And so COVID-19 is affecting the economy.
Like governments all over the world, it became necessary for African governments to take action to shield their populations from the effects of the epidemic. In my country, Ghana, our economy has emerged in extremely poor shape from the COVID experience. A ballooning deficit, double-digit inflation, a nose-diving currency, increasing debt distress are some of the symptoms of the ill economy. This has devastated many African economies and sunk them deeper into unsustainable debt and economic downturn. The pandemic has had a generally deleterious effect on the economy of African nations. The effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, and one, find new ways to bring value chains inside Africa's borders, and two, change the mindset of dependence on external parties. Data from the Economic Commission of Africa, ECA, shows that COVID-19 created the continent's worst recession in 50 years, with real GDP shrinking by 3% averagely by 3% in 2020. Before the pandemic, poverty reduction was already a major challenge.
We
heard from the president.
Yeah. It's really, I'm even short of words. I'm saying, interesting to be alive at the 9th month of President Mahama.
Me say, Makassas, you see, what I was doing frequently on this show is that we remind ourselves.
It's interesting.
And from 2020, ABC 2024
do you remember
NDC for new call for Kikakikaya?
Do you remember President Mahama using stupid is about the economy to do you remember that phrase you see and listening to what he's saying today on your platform, I'm really amazed because you know all this and you went ahead or say describe the vice president
or how I buy the last 50 years that the demand be.
You see, I'm not surprised now. Now I believe that
effort say poverty reduction. You bet to us, COVID have been raising 55% of the effort, the progress that we have made. Say you two on your bubrase, I will be my mono. Money more yabono. COVID-19 and you move everywhere within 2 years in the panel. Now, how Nisun Sansua COVID-19 diaba and be mam, you see, Cassam and Tutriasono. If you do Numa a chair, Muna COVID, my you will be that. John Mahama na eka say you.
But you see,
when he was in opposition, you can't be there so that the almost COVID. The almost COVID. The almost COVID. COVID in
your media for more Ghana more asudi. Because I say we will go can a better day say ubi a war chimbediate, ubi a war trebidi, ubi a war and shenne. Answer was anchored ne Wasa area or maybe a bit and it's good. You've done a very fantastic job. But we don't be some when they say, Tira Mama, ring now, I know to now go do the you read that we will at him. But you see, the way say the 9th month come with mystery. And I'm a Reverend Father B. Dinkum, on a make the son, say, Papa. Now, they say, a Fuku, but be a Druno. Ye asofo a ye nim the only thing that can save Ghana emma oyonikase entoye say this be kan okrono be apologize. Yes, that's what he said. He said the reason why Catholic bishop no etimi na okoduro out the president to tell him say enye omoba ne nchen miensa the guest and the man and so and the galamsey no was because they know say within the spiritual realm the only thing that can save Ira Mama so obebere no ase apart na wasa akanokre because was it last year August omugina so you can say demonstration I can't use for no coin. Original water report been out to be the TD. Wasn't a 14 UNT
and now a Drew
94. That means say I did a person go for the 8 years here, you know. You Mama the 1 month and a years
14,000 now a Drew
90. I did 8 years no. Every month we are unless you kumi and so be a to no so ma ohre ne kra ma ma sa kwaje sa seat no so what you say any ona what to me no because of the lay off workers no no ma no happen baby adu no so wan kan kra no apologize to omo a we dey say omotunufo no de otumi ya ne so obekwa akoyi you can say nipa ni be afiase and so ko 9 months no but it couldn't clean. And to me, I be so apologize because I never know. You were President Kufuor when you change your mama. So I say, I was so apologize. Maybe I used to tell you now. I was so to make a chance of Papa. We did them. So but one cast idea and a pet send your air corner. I hope I know you at Ghana because day in day out here, Mama, the confidence I Ghana for ne good way and you see frankly Kujo had a very biased already MPP so towards the NDC rather but and never tell because say reporter want to say you are Mama the confidence no yeah so they say and to maybe to go for so and
to the travel people had himself where something extraordinary no
the fourth estate and assembly of model to say and hajia friend ma no ye can say
good causes foundation
assembly of say over 100 bills. Then the number ABC contested. Mimi na mo ni bi ABC na bi. E wa hafun ko over 100 bills ni die na mu na frey. E mo mo tutu so ko sankore zo go see a. So but you know there are sometimes you can say o ko sankore zo go enso eswo. O ko sankore ko so enso eswo nom. E no no the bed e ba honom. So what you say? But we made a whole lot of noise out of this. That's
Akufuado and Nebusiafo. MPP Penifo, government officials,
and by any kind of crap. And a dear man, Akufuado and Nebusiafo, yeah, a chance I might be in a Abraham. Mamma, she say. Then you see, it's not the trouble. On one some air exposing but Ghanaians are silent. Sounds a tea. My guys, I'm trying to know. Your Abraham Mama was sponsored both for MPP and NDC. Parliamentary candidates in Omoko Parliament. I'm telling you. And most of them see him and they will bow. Most of them from one right to one will be well or Omoko. And they are some they are all feeling guilt to admit. Because we did a wahana not as you know when you need very mama, but you didn't say. So I can't put a Ghana. And I'm only that will show that I could And Jamaica Papa Okumanum. And Papa, you're saying, say, African prosperity and MMU 250,000. $250,000 and $800 million.
And I say,
you are. Finance minister on a chair, ECOWAS bank, at times says Canada America, Mama say, over what you Chima for answer, no, what you know, another way. Now you say that there's all Casano Mabaswa near Betu. Preamble and can say, you are Mamma, no one on a baswa, no, but you do banana because I pay, and some I saw Bono, why no, you are now very fro, no, Frona, William Frona, but the other chair, Craig. At time. Because I capture another. And I'm some. Marching. Where? And I don't go.